Hey guys, Luke here. In today's video, we're talking about the M3 chip from Apple. This is going to be revealed tomorrow, depending on what time zone you are in. I was reading a really good article today from Mac Rumours, and I'll leave it in the show notes below. But essentially, what we're looking at here is an upgrade to, obviously, the existing chip, the M2 chip. It's set to improve over the M2 chip by about 20 to 30%, which is what they typically do each year. You can see in this article, the standard M2 chip has 8 CPU cores and 10 GPU cores. M3 is rumored to have 8 CPU cores with 4 high performance and 4 energy efficient, and then 10 GPU cores. And then as you go through the Pro, the Max, and the Ultra, those cores obviously go up and give you more power. The big thing here is it's moving from 5 nanometer to 3 nanometer, which is pretty much what we're seeing inside the current Apple silicon in the iPhone 15. You can see here by doing that, it's going to offer roughly 35% better efficiency, and that will improve battery life for the M series Max. Now, what Apple typically will do when they bring out a brand new M chip, all of their baseline products will get that first. So that'll be the 13-inch MacBook Air, the 15-inch MacBook Air, which is still obviously fairly new. We'll have the 13-inch MacBook Pro, which is what I use here. We've got the Mac Mini, and hopefully we're going to see an update to the 24-inch iMac. The 24-inch iMac didn't get the M2 chip, so I'm hoping we're going to get a 24-inch iMac with the M3 chip, but I'm crossing my fingers here. I'm hoping we're going to get a bigger iMac. I kind of feel like, you know, if you rewind a little bit, we've always had the 21-inch and the 27-inch iMac. I hope Apple brings out a slightly bigger iMac this time around. I think that would be really, really solid. There hasn't been any leaks or rumors about the a new iMac coming out. So we'll have to just wait and see. It just says here that the Mac's expected to use it. The Pro chip will be the Mac Mini, the 14-inch MacBook Pro, and the 16-inch MacBook Pro. And then we'll get like the Mac Studio, and the 16-inch MacBook Pro will get the Max chip, and then the Ultra chip should land in the Studio and the Pro. So, I mean, as long as everything kind of follows that, that's pretty much the same as what happened with the M2. So that's a good thing. That means we're going to get a really good improvement to the Mac Mini, a really good improvement to the MacBook Air, a really significant bump in battery life. That's kind of the big thing. I hope that that's what happens, because if you think about the M1 MacBook Pro and the M2, they've both got significantly improved battery life in comparison to anything that's really on the market. But here's what I think is going to happen with this release of the M3 chip. I think there's going to be a really strong focus on GPU performance. I feel like Apple has already started moving in that direction. If you think about the iPhone 15 and the fact that they were showcasing games like Resident Evil Village playing natively on an iPhone 15 with very, very little changes to like the console gaming setup, just a bit of a drop in resolution. I feel like that's where Apple really wants to push. They know that gaming is where they've always kind of been lacking in a lot of ways. And if you think about it, Apple's had this new translation layer. What do they call it? There was a name for this translation layer. And essentially, you know, like if you go on YouTube, people like Dave2D kind of showed you that games like Diablo could run natively on a Mac just through that translation layer. I feel like if Apple has got that kind of zeroed in right now and has really got that simplified, it's going to open the gateway for developers to come in and be like, okay, great, we've got this, really high performance game on PC. We can easily port that to Apple. They've now got the silicon to support it. They've got lots of GPU performance, and within however long it takes to do that, it's going to be a much easier way for us to bring it to Apple iPhone and to bring it to the Mac as well. I feel like that's where they're headed. Whether that will happen, I don't know. Obviously, it's all speculation, but it would be amazing if that's what happens, because it means I could get rid of my gaming PC. I don't have to keep building gaming PCs. I can just buy, the latest Mac Mini or the 14 or 16-inch MacBook Pro and have a killer gaming setup at the same time. Now, I watched this really interesting video yesterday. It was a tech YouTuber. His name is Matt Talks Tech. He came up in my feed, and it was a recommendation, and he had a really interesting thought around maybe Apple and Nintendo are going to get together. This is obviously a massive speculation, but imagine if the new Nintendo Switch 2 used Apple Silicon. Nintendo obviously needs to think about what chips they're going to use in their new Nintendo Switch. Apple Silicon runs obviously very efficiently, offers great battery life, very low watt usage. It is also very small, like a 3nm chip in the new Nintendo Switch would be absolutely incredible. I feel like it would be, a really great match. Whether or not Apple and Nintendo can come to that agreement, I don't know. But I thought it was a pretty cool idea. Maybe in the Switch 2 we could see a 5G version. How cool would that be? You don't have to rely on having Wi-Fi or tethering to your phone. You could just use an Apple chip to work off 5G. You could sign up for a cheap plan through Nintendo. Maybe it's $20 a month and you get Nintendo Online and you get 5G as well. I think that'd be unbelievably cool. Again, don't think it's probably going to happen, but like I said, I feel like Apple is moving into that kind of gaming phase. They see that the market is there. They want to try and get a lot of high quality console games across to Apple Silicon, and it just makes sense that they're going to push into that little niche with the M3 chip. So guys, that's my thoughts. Whether or not these things will happen, I don't know. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. On all of these podcasts, I typically have a couple of polls and questions. Just scroll down, you can answer, and you can even send me a voice message if you've got something you want me to talk about on the show. But that's it for today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.